If you're new to the program and you watch one of our videos and it starts with this wonderful song and we question why we try anymore, just know it was a shitty result. And on Thursday night in Illinois, in the shadows of Chicago, Maryland loses their third consecutive game to Northwestern, this time of the buzzer beater variety, 76-74. I got your Maryland basketball postgame show, God's favorite host, The Late Show. Let me be the first to wish you a happy Friday and happy weekend. We made it through another week, but the Maryland Terps fall 76-74. Last second buzzer beater to Northwestern. If you're watching this video right now, slam dunk that subscribe button. Lay up that like button. Block that bell. Let me know your thoughts on the Terps not being able to win a game on the road and falling to 13-5. Now 3-4 in the Big Ten, and Northwestern improving to 11-6. Now 2-4. Comment down below. Let me know your thoughts. Any comment, hitting that thumbs up and subscribing helps us out tremendously as we get through this together, Terps fans. So, another primetime tilt in the Big Ten on the road for the Terps, and it ended with yet another road loss. Nick Martinelli basically made a baseline game-winning jumper just before the buzzer in overtime to help Northwestern snap a 3-game losing streak with a 76-74 victory over Maryland. Northwestern led by 64-56, so they were up by 8 with 4:43 left. And I was watching this game, and all intents and purposes, we were doing our Washington Commanders Detroit Lions preview live. I was watching the game, they were down 8, and I thought this game was over. I didn't think Maryland would be able to string enough offense together, and most importantly, enough defensive stops. And the officiating tonight, my God, was it not anything to write home about? I know the coaches, I know the players can't really say too much, but the officiating tonight on both sides, some of the foul calls, just some of the overall decision making by the refs. Yeah, it was terrible. But Ja'Kobi Gillespie made a big time layup with 6.9 seconds left, tied it at 68. Then Brooks Barnhizer hit a layup off the back iron. Derik Queen with the rebound. We're headed to overtime. Overtime, Gillespie made another layup with 6.9 seconds left, tying the game at 74 after he poked the ball away from Ty Berry. So Ja'Kobi Gillespie, I mentioned, how would the Maryland guards match up with the Northwestern guards? Northwestern guards have a size advantage. Gillespie seems to be finding his stride, and I kind of wish he would have found it maybe 3 or 4 minutes earlier in the game, but he was clutch. It clutches everything in life. So the ball actually went off Julian Reese. They reviewed it, and then it was determined Northwestern's possession. Then it was just a wonderful play call. I'm going to show it in a second, but Martinelli, he scored 22 points, so they didn't execute that key, keeping him under 20 points. Barnhizer, 20 and 10 with 5 assists. And then Berry had 15. So all of their best players went off. He didn't stop any of them. So when that happens and all of your players get to do what they do best, you got your guard giving you a double-double. You got your big man giving you 20 points. What are you going to do? You couldn't stop anybody defensively. This has been the story of the team. This has been the story of Kevin Willard, and they haven't been able to do it. Julian Reese was the lead man tonight. He had 23. Gillespie had 14. Rodney Rice, 13. Derik Queen, 14 rebounds, but only 9 points. He was in foul trouble, kind of handicapped by some terrible calls. And the Terps, not winning the turnover battle. 16 turnovers. 11 lead changes. 9 ties in the first half. And Northwestern was up 38-37. The game in total, 16 ties, 15 lead changes. Maryland heads to Nebraska on Sunday. Northwestern plays at Michigan. So just a terrible loss. Bring up the play so you guys can see what I was mentioning here. Let me show the play so you guys can see it with me. Right here, Maryland, they were pretty much doomed. I mean, this was a wonderful play call. As you can see, Chris Collins, the head coach from Northwestern, draws up the play. Everybody expected Barnhizer to get the ball, so Julian Reese and Selton Miguel both followed him to the basket. So if you see right there, you had two guys on number 13, which then allowed for Deshaun Harris Smith gets caught on the screen, and then the buzzer beater shot is perfect. It's perfect. I mean, Martinelli makes a easy, what's that, maybe 12-foot shot coming off a screen, pretty much wide open, a baseline jumper. That couldn't have been more than, yeah, that was probably like a 12 to 14 footer. That's easy money. That's easy money. And Northwestern going crazy. They get the big victory, and you can see it there. Big shout out to our guy Jeff Ehrman with the video cred there, courtesy of JBR Bracketology. I mean, you kind of felt, like I said, when Maryland was down 64 to 56, for them to fight back, credit to them for not giving up, because they could have easily went into the night of the Illinois cold freezing night and just took a loss and just said, all right, we'll get back to it, when we play again on Sunday against Nebraska. But then again, the players are giving effort. You got to love that. They didn't lay down and give up. So this team plays all 40 minutes. Great. But in the last, in winning time, they have to find a way to get a stop. Honestly, if they, it's just a great play. You got to tip your cap, honestly, because Terps did what they were supposed to do. They took away the first option. They pretty much from there forced the second read, but I guess that was the first option, if anything, because it's like, well, two guys on him, then we just got a wide open baseline shot. So overall, a great play calling as well. 95% win percentage for Northwestern. But the two missed free throws by Barnhizer did give Maryland a little bit of life as well. And he was pushing off a lot, falling off balance. And it looks like the refs finally woke up maybe a little late, but they did indeed see what was going on there. Let's get to the box score here and see what indeed did take place on tonight. As you can see, guys, the Terps, Julian Reese, big game. Julian, Juju, you did your thing tonight. 23 points. This is the Juju I wish we could get every night. He was efficient. He wasn't really efficient. He was 5 for 13 from the field. But how about this from the free throw line? Probably his best game ever shooting free throws. 13 for a wonderful 92% from the free throw line. Yeah, but outside of that, really, like I said, Gillespie with 14. He was 5 for 15. Rodney Rice, 10 points. 3 players in double figures. Derik Queen, 9 points, 14 rebounds. But being in foul trouble doesn't help. And what is that? 14 points from your bench. That ain't going to get the job done. Especially when you got Northwestern with Ty Berry giving you 15 by himself and KJ Wyndham with 3. So they had 18 points. And the rest of their guys didn't even play well. Like I said, they didn't really have a bench. Barnhizer, 20, 10, and 5. Leach with 8. Saravino with 3. Nicholson with 5. But Martinelli, 22, 3, and 3. So the two big guns, and then you get Ty Berry off the bench. Basically 3 for 8 from 3, 5 for 13 with 15 points of his own. It's pretty much the difference in the game. The turnovers doomed them. The bench doomed them. And the two best players of Northwestern outplayed the best players of Maryland. It was pretty much a one-man gang for most of the game with Julian Reese. I like him getting around 15 shots a game. Obviously, he was not the most efficient guy, but getting to the line, he dominated inside. He dominated in the paint. He attacked them, tried to get them in foul trouble. And you can see there why Juju is important on this team. I think he needs to play with that aggressiveness every game. Not be afraid to get fouled, not be afraid to go to the free throw line. As you can see, both teams, Maryland only shot 5%, Northwestern 48%. 6 for 20 for Maryland, 6 for 19 for Northwestern. So neither team really shot the three well. But how about Maryland? 20 of 22, 90% from the free throw strike. Now, if we can continue to do that, they're going to win a lot more games. Rebounding, they won the rebounding battle, 39-33, so they hit that key. 12 assists to 17, 7 steals. They had 3 3 blocks to 7, 16 to 13 turnovers. So both teams actually did turn the ball over a lot as well. Northwestern was up by 10. Maryland was up by 6. So you can see Maryland did win the rebounding. They did lose the turnover battle. They lost the three-point battle and lost the field goal percentage battle as well. Like I said, Maryland just was not very efficient from the field, even with Julian Reese's big night, 5 for 13. Just think if he goes 6 for 14 or 6 for 13 or 7 for 14, this team wins this game. So it's close. It's another attaboy. It's a close but no cigar for Maryland. It's really nothing you can at this point. Moral victories don't exist. It's nothing we really can, because we've seen this movie before. We've seen before what will now falls to another road Big Ten team. He was what, like 5-18 or something like that. So this is not what we want to see. You had a terrible 10-second violation there. You had some bad just gaffes by the Maryland Terps in this game. Like I said, they were the better team, but they got outplayed. They turned the ball over, and really only one man showed up until the end with Gillespie. But another terrible, terrible loss on the road for Maryland. And it just kind of sucks because we knew what this team was coming into this game. They needed to win a game on the road. They were on 3. Now, like I said, they did have some games in neutral sites where they won, but it sucks. It sucks. It sucks because we know Maryland they were looking like they were going to take off and ascend in this division, in this conference. And they clearly aren't doing that as well. And I don't know. You want to put it on Jeff? You want to put it on? Excuse me. You want to put it on Kevin Willard? He has to take some accountability, and I think he knows what this team is going through. I think he knows what the numbers are. With this loss, Kevin Willard is now 5-20 on the road in Big Ten games. So there you go. They're 5-20 now on the road in Big Ten games. No road wins this year. At the down the Big Ten, Maryland falls even further down behind USC. 3-4, 13-5 overall. They're not catching Michigan State. They're not catching Purdue. They're not catching Michigan. They got Illinois on the road coming up. I don't think they're going to win that game. They lost to Oregon. They got Wisconsin coming up at home. They got to go to Indiana. I know Mike Woodson is on the hot seat, but I don't have confidence that they're going to beat Indiana on the road. Until this team can actually win a road game, their confidence has to continue to diminish and dwindle, because another close loss, the Oregon loss, the showing against Washington, the loss tonight against Northwestern. Northwestern owns Maryland in football and in basketball. We see them dominate them on a Friday night here in College Park. The Terps have lost their last 3 against Northwestern. Tonight, the overtime loss. Oh, man. In Maryland, as you can see the schedule, they got to go to Nebraska on Sunday. And Nebraska is right now right behind Maryland. How big of a game is Sunday now? Nebraska currently 2-4 in the Big Ten. If you lose to them, you become 3-5. They now become 3-5 and leapfrog you. They become 12-6. So they're right on your heels record-wise. So then you kind of fall to the bottom half of the Big Ten. You're kind of right in the middle. You're mid right now. And that's kind of what the Terps are. They beat up on inferior opponents as they should, handle them accordingly. But on the road, especially against Big Ten teams in conference, they can't get the job done. They can't close out defensively at the end of games. They can't consistently score offensively at the end of games. One day, Julian Reese gives you 20, and Derik Queen is nowhere to be found. One day, Derik Queen gives you damn near 30, and Julian Reese is in single digits. One day, Gillespie's giving you 15 and 18. Then one day, he may only have 9 points throughout the first 30 minutes of the game. So this team is consistently inconsistent. From the coaching, which looks great at times, to it just seems like we just forget what coaching is in the last 5 or 6 minutes, especially down the stretch. And then the players seem to forget what brought them to the dance. You see a lot of settling for jumpers. You don't see guys attacking the basket. But like I said, I did love the intensity today to get to the rim. But being being in the middle is not kind of what we expected from this team. This team should be in the upper echelon, kind of up there where Wisconsin and Oregon is, 4-2 in the Big Ten. Now, like I said, I thought they would be able to get to 20 wins. Now, at what, 13-5? How many games do we have left, ladies and gentlemen? Let's do some quick flicks on math. Got Nebraska, Illinois, Indiana. That's 3. Wisconsin is number 24. That's 4. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 games remaining. So you got some chances to still. I don't want it to be all doom and gloom. You still have some chances here to inevitably win on the road. Obviously, at Illinois is not going to be easy. At Indiana is not going to be easy. Wisconsin at Ohio State is not going to be easy. Going to Nebraska, at Penn State, and at Michigan. And oh yeah, you end the season with Northwestern again. So how fun is that before the Big Ten tournament? So it's going to be an interesting stretch down. It's going to be an interesting run down the stretch for the Terps. They got to look themselves in the mirror. 13-5 is an okay record. And yeah, it might get you in the dance at this rate. Like I said, you're 13-5. You got what, 10 games left. I don't know. I don't know what this team is going to be. They've played 18 games. As I mentioned, they got 3, 6, 12. So 13 games left. Do they go? I mean, 7-5 get you what, 20-10? But even then, you're kind of like, well, we should have at least maybe 2 or 3 more games. Will 20-10 be good enough to get you an at-large bid? I don't know. Comment down below. Let me know your thoughts if you made it this far in the video. But 20-10, I was thinking 21-9. That was my prediction before this game. I said, well, they can win their next few. They got 14 games left. They can win what, 10 and go 10-4, get to 21-9. You can be an at-large team, get that bye in the Big Ten tournament, and hopefully, potentially from there, go on to win and get a couple of games in the tournament to help your resume. Now, this isn't going to help your resume, Northwestern. This is a bad loss, in my opinion. And this is going to be something that's going to be on their ledger. And like I said, with 13 games left, they're going to have to really, really look themselves in the mirror and try to decide what kind of team they're going to be. But I did want to come on here and watch the game. I did want to give my opinion and my initial post-game thoughts. God's favorite host. This is the home for your Maryland Terps content. Mike Locksley interviewing with the Jets. How was that? But Evan Willett, 5-20 on the road in the Big Ten. Not going to get it done. And I'm sure there'll be a lot of comparisons. Actually, at this point, he's probably even doing worse than Turgeon. But sound off in the comment section. I want to hear from you. Slam down that subscribe button. Lay up that like button. Block that bell. Let me know your thoughts on the Maryland Terps falling on a game-winning buzzer beater, 76-74 as well. Terps fall to 13-5. Northwestern improves to 11-6. Man, I don't really know what else to say there. Derik Queen, 5 turnovers. Gillespie, 5 for 15. Miguel, 2 for 9, 4 points. Maryland, 38% with 16 turnovers. Like I said, if you haven't seen the play, I'll play it for you one more time, but it's kind of let this play over, loop this play. But make sure you guys slam dunk that subscribe button, lay up that like button, block that bell, sound off. Let me know your thoughts on the Terps. Can they get to 20 wins? I mean, is 20-10 even going to be good enough to get into the tournament? They're going to have to probably at least win a game or two in the Big Ten to get that at-large bid if they don't win the tournament as a whole, which I don't see happening. But sign off below. Let me know your thoughts. Terps lose on a heartbreaking game-winning buzzer beater. Nick Martinelli. Terps fall 76-74 in overtime. We'll be back with more content. They got a game on Sunday against Nebraska. Sunday against Nebraska. It's at noon. So, Terps Sunday afternoon at home, and then Ravens Bills. So, we'll see if we can get better for our local teams. Commanders on Saturday night. Check out our Commanders preview. Check out our Ravens preview coming soon as well. And stay tuned to the Flex On Podcast, your home for Maryland Terps content. The only place giving it to you how you want it, when you need it. The Flex On Podcast. Thank you guys for watching. Maryland with a big loss, 76-74 Sometimes we don't even know why we try with the Maryland Terps, but I'm going to be here breaking it all down for you, giving you that content, how you want it, when you need it. The Flex Zone Podcast, Terps with a 76-74 loss, game-winning buzzer beater. I want to hear from you in the comment section. I want to hear from you hitting that subscribe button, hit that like button, hitting that bell. Hitting that bell. Is this team even a tournament contender? But I want to hear from you. They lose. They got Nebraska on Sunday. Should be a winnable game. And then Iowa next week as well. So we'll see what happens. Let me know. Nebraska, then Illinois, big game at Illinois, which is coming up next week as well, next Saturday as well. So sound off below. Let me know your thoughts. It's going to be a big week. Got more content as always on the channel, on the Flex Zone. And I can't wait to share with you and another Terps post-game show in the books. I'll see you next time.